Hi, this is Mrs. Baxter, and welcome to our lesson on writing equations of lines. Now, this is just another extension of what we have been working on with graphing lines and writing equations, finding slope, using point slope form, using slope intercept form. So we're just going to kind of break it down today, so it should be a little bit of a review and kind of a step-by-step how to solve these problems. A lot of it is just plug and chug. So let's get started. The first box we're going to start in is right here where it says writing an equation in slope-intercept form. So if you remember, slope-intercept form is simply y equals slope intercept right there, all right? And from our example, it says slope is, so m is equal to -1/2. And it gives us our y-intercept, so 0, 2 is the same as b is equal to 2. So now, all we simply need to do is plug in slope for m, x plus 2. That's about as simple as you're going to get, okay? So the next example now is not slope-intercept form, so I'm going to highlight. This is slope-intercept form, right? The next example is called point slope form. So point slope form, when you see it, you're going to realize this is quite simply y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And what we have here is our points, all right, and slope form. So point slope form, you have point and slope. All right, so given our slope, m equals -3, and our point, which is x comma y, right, which is the same as 4, 0. So now all we need to do is plug all those numbers into this equation, and we get y minus, here's our point. Our point is y1 right here. So you could write y minus 0 equals, our slope is -3 times x minus, here's our x, we're going to plug that in, -4. Now, please note, there's a minus here, there's a minus here. If these numbers are positive, you're still going to have -0, -4, okay? If for some reason your points had negatives, make sure you change your signs, okay? But for now, this is the equation for point slope form. Just plug and play. All right, this next example, we're going to get a little bit trickier. We're going to add in an equation that we have been working with, and right now it's asking for slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b, or y equals slope x plus intercept. And they give us our slope, but they give us a random point. All right, this is not at the y-intercept. A y-intercept would be 0, some number. But we do have a point on the line, so we can plug these numbers into this equation and solve for b. So let's do that. Our slope is -3, our x is -2, and our y is 4. So knowing all that information, I'm going to plug it in. So 4, right? I'm going to plug this in, and then I'm going to plug 3 into here, and I'm going to plug 2 into here, and then we're going to solve for that. So 4 is equal to -3 is our slope times x plus b. So if we do our algebra, I'm going to come over here and PEMDAS plus b. Oh, actually, negative times negative is positive. Okay, let me do a better b. My b and 6 look the same. And then we're going to subtract 6 from this side to get b by itself. So -2 is b. Okay, so I have my let me circle this. I have my slope, I have my b, and now I'm just going to plug it into my equation. So my new equation is y equals -3x minus 2. I hope you see that. I plugged in my -3 for my slope, and I plugged in my -2 for my b. All right, flip your page over. And we've got now writing an equation in slope-intercept form given 2 points. Here is where you know the equation for finding slope. Slope, well, first of all, slope-intercept form, we're still doing slope-intercept, okay? Our slope is the equation 0.2 for y minus 0.1 for y. Oops. Oh no. Okay. And 0.2x minus x1. And so in this case, we're going to look at our points here, and I'm going to use my y's and subtract them from each other. Now, it doesn't matter what point you go first, so I could do 3 minus -1 over -4 minus -2, which equals, I'm going to make this plus positive, which is 4 plus positive -2. 4 over -2 is the same as -2. So -2 is my slope, okay? Now I have a point right here and right here. Well, I don't know what my y-intercept is, so now I have to do that extra step that we did like in the last problem and solve for b. So let me just pick a point. I'm just going to pick this one, for example, and plug it into my y equals mxb. So my y is 3 equals my new slope that I found out is 2 times -4, which is y of that point, plus b. If we use our algebra, I've got 8 plus b. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, and now I'm left with -5 equals b. And then now that we have m and b, we can go ahead and plug it into our equation. -2x minus 5. That is our answer. So I want to point out I plugged that in, and I plugged this in for our y equals mx plus b problem. Okay, last problem. And this is writing an equation in point-slope form given 2 different points. So for this one, we have to do a little bit more work, but it's not too much, all right? Because you still know m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, if you need to mark this is 0.1 and this is 0.2 to keep your x's and y's straight, please do. It's okay. Whatever you need to do to make it work for you so you can keep them straight. So I'm going to do -5 minus 5 over -3 minus 2. All right, and my answer is going to be -10 over -5, which is the same thing as 2. So m is equal to 2. Now, the beautiful thing is we don't have to do any more calculating at this point because point-slope form, remember, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, so I already have my points right here with one of these, and I have my slope that I just figured out. Now we just plug it back into the equation. So my equation, and here's where it gets kind of cool, you can have 2 different answers that would be correct. So for this one, if I used 0.1, I could say y minus 5 equals 2, which is my slope, times x minus 2. Now it seems kind of backwards. Oops, it seems kind of backwards, but make sure you remember. Okay, I'm going to draw a few arrows. Here's my x, which is going to go in for x. Here's my y, which is going to go in for y. And here was my slope. Okay? And surprisingly enough, this is your answer, or one of your answers, I should say. Okay? This is one possible answer. Now, if you want to use the other point, you can. So you're going to go y minus -5, which minus a negative means plus 5, okay? And equals, same thing, 2 times x minus -3. Ooh, I've got another plus here. So let's make this nice and neat. It's y plus 5 equals 2 times x plus 3. Now, somebody asked me, well, Mrs. Baxter, don't we have to simplify this and distribute and all that? No, we don't, because it's asking us to put it into point slope form. This is the form. You may leave it like this or like this, and you will be good, okay? All right, so that's it for the notes for today. Go ahead and pull out the homework. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. You should be able to finish the front and the back of the first page by today, or get pretty close to it. And we will continue working on the second page of this on day 2. All right, good luck.